Hello everybody, welcome back. So by the title of the video, you guys are probably super excited that I am bringing another paranormal video. It's been so long. I actually did not realize how long it's been since I've made a paranormal video. I was like, yeah, it's been like 3 weeks. It's been like almost 6 months. What the hell's the matter with me? I don't even know. So I'm trying really hard to get back into the swing of things with everything. Life's been really hectic. The last, I would just say, year of my life has just been like, it's been good, it's been bad, it's been ups and downs and circles and triangles and trapezoids, I don't know. Yes, I'm trying really hard now. And I'm gonna be okay, I think, to do things regularly now again. Or at least I'm gonna try, and thank you everybody who stuck by me and stay subscribed and was very patient and waiting, and new subscribers, and you guys are so lovely. Just today I'm gonna talk a little bit about, I know I shouldn't be talking about this, but I want to talk about this, what goes on right here in my new home. You guys are saying, but you have a pretty recently built house, how do you have hauntings here? Well, that's a silly thing to say. I do want to tell you some things that have happened around here. It's kind of against my rule of don't talk about ghosts where you live, but I want to share it with you guys. I like to coexist with them, so to speak, because I feel they're just spiritual beings, like we're all spiritual beings. So that's why I like to share this stuff with you guys. So not only do I want to get back into the paranormal videos, I'm going to still do cross-stitch videos, of course. I'll have another one of those up early next week, I promise. A lot of people want me to do more spirituality videos, and I'll be honest with you guys, I have been meditating. I've been working on spirituality this whole entire time. I just started really getting back into researching it, and it's a little hard for me right now. Being a spiritualist, I believe that the most important thing in my life is to enrich my spirit, my soul, but I am a human at the same time, so a lot of my human emotions interfere with that. And like I said, I've been researching a lot on spirituality, and last night I was reading something and it kind of took the last, I don't want to say year, has it been a year? It's almost been a year. The last year of my life and things that have gone on in that last year, and taken it and just completely made sense of it for me. And I was crying. It was a very emotional thing for me to come to terms with. Yeah. So why I'm saying this is because a lot of people want me to do more videos on spirituality, and I'm going to, but you gotta understand that spirituality is a very personal thing for me, and I'm at a spot with it where I'm just like, I'm coming to terms with the fact that even though I've always believed in it, I know I'm shifty right now, but I'm coming to terms with the fact that I really am a spiritual being, and there really are other spiritual beings out there, and we are all connected in some way, and some of us more than others, and it just blows my mind. So I'll be doing more videos like that soon. Believe me. If it looks like I moved a little bit, if I'm off-centered, it's because I had to get the phone. It's a telemarketer. I'm on the do not call list, but they call me like all the time. Okay, so I'm going to start off by giving you a little background about the house that I live in right now. My house is not very old. It was built in 1997, so as far as houses go, it's pretty new. I have kind of a connection to the development I live in now, which, you know, tells me a little bit more of the background story of where we live, which is kind of cool. My father, when they built this development, he was a tree worker. Well, he still is. What he does is he, you know, takes down trees, clears them out. It's, you know, hard job, but he's a 65-year-old guy who still does that. And he and my brother at the time was working with him. They actually worked in this development to clear out the trees. So my parents have always been history buffs. They love history. They love, you know, archaeology, all that kind of stuff. And they would find things while they were working up here, such as Native American artifacts, which tells us that this was a settlement for Native American people. Now, I'm not saying Native American burial ground. Please don't think I'm saying that, because I don't know where that was up here, but this was obviously a Native American settlement. I have proof, I know for a fact. When I was young, he used to bring me up here and show me that stuff. So it's kind of nostalgic, sort of, to think that this is where I live now. But it has a lot of history as far as spirituality goes, because we know how spiritual Native American peoples are. So we're the third owners of this house. I don't know much about the first owners, but the guy we actually bought the house from only had it for about 3 years. He bought the house and he completely renovated it. As I told you, it wasn't very old, but he felt he needed to do all kinds of high-end improvements, and he did. And another thing that the man did was he finished the basement. Now, he made the basement sort of like an in-law suite for his mother because she was very elderly and she was very sick. So she was living here with him and she actually passed away in this house. Yes, I did know that when I bought the house, and I didn't buy the house because she died in the house, and I did not want to buy the house because she died in the house, because that kind of stuff doesn't really bother me. Didn't lower the selling price or anything. It was just like, you know, it was kind of something that was said in passing, sort of, where, you know, like, yes, I finished the basement and I had it set up with a bedroom, because when we looked at it, it had a bedroom, it had a kitchen, it had all this set up in it, and he's like, I have this set up like this because my mother was down here and she had her nurse in here and she passed away. So, you know, someone did die in this house. I'm okay with that, because you gotta think, the house I grew up in was built in like 1820-ish, maybe earlier. So a lot of people died in that house too. To be completely honest with you guys, the first time I was in the basement, before I even knew about the mother passing, I did feel heavy air, but I, you know, was thinking maybe it's because it's a basement and I'm underground and it's just, you know, whatever. I didn't think, you know, wow, there's ghosts down here. I didn't even consider it, and honestly I thought, well, we're moving to a new house, we're not going to have a lot of spirits or hauntings or anything like that. So I do feel we have some activity here. I can't say where it comes from. I don't think it came with me when I left my old house. The first thing that brought to my attention that we could have a entity here or a spirit was the day after we moved in. We were trying to get all settled and unpack everything, and we were down in the basement. I was talking to my husband about something. I don't even remember what we were talking about, and he said, I'm gonna go out in the yard and do something or whatever, and I was down in the basement. I'm like, okay, I'll be right out. I'm gonna go to the bathroom. We have a bathroom down in the basement. I go in the bathroom and he goes up the stairs to the basement. So he's going up the stairs to the basement and I'm in the bathroom and I'm going and I'm talking to him, because I hear him going up the stairs of the house and walking up the stairs, walking upstairs around in the house with like heavy footsteps. I mean, these are man footsteps with boots. He had boots on, and I hear him and I'm like, oh, what are you doing? So I'm done doing my business, and I go up the stairs to the basement, and I walk completely past the patio door, and I go through the hall, up the stairs, and I'm looking for him, and I'm talking to him as I'm up the stairs. And as I pass it's kind of a picture window when you get right up the stairs. As I pass that window, it catches my attention that he's out in the yard, and I'm completely like, holy shit. Because I didn't hear anybody coming down the stairs, but I did hear heavy footsteps going up the stairs and walking around. And of course I went outside and I'm like, did you go upstairs? And he's like, no, I didn't go upstairs. I'm like, great, you know, freaking can't get away from this stuff. So in the first few months that follow that we're living here, I'm alone all day pretty much. Sometimes my mom will come over and my son will be here, but usually when I'm alone in the first few months, that's pretty much what I'm hearing. While I'm sitting in the living room, while I'm in the kitchen doing housework or whatever, all of a sudden I will hear heavy footsteps going up the stairs. And I'm totally like, okay, maybe it's a dog, and I'll turn around and I'll be like, okay, it's not the dog. I remember a lot of these stories have a lot to do with the bathroom, and I apologize for that, but I just want to tell the story as straightforward as I can. But I remember specifically, it was probably like 3 months after we moved in here, I was in the bathroom in the powder room. Now when I go in there during the day, I leave the door open. So I'm going to the bathroom and I hear something in the hall. The hall is right directly to the, if you're in the bathroom, it'll be to your left, and I hear something down the hall making a bunch of noise. And I'm like, what are those dogs doing, you know? And then I hear something go up the stairs. I'm like, you know, what are they doing? Because while they're up the stairs, I hear them going from room to room and messing with stuff. And I'm like, they're exploring, but they really can't be doing that because they're gonna break things and they know better. So I'm like yelling to them. I'm like, get downstairs. What are you doing out there? Come on, come downstairs. I get done in the bathroom and I come out of the bathroom. The first thing I do is head down the hall to the stairs. And I shout up the stairs, come on guys, let's go. And as I look down the hall from the stairs, which would be downstairs towards the patio door, all three of my dogs are sitting by the patio door. Now, in order for them to have come down the stairs and went to the patio door and sat there while I was in the bathroom, I would have totally had to have seen them and heard them do that, but I did not. Now, I can't sit here and tell you every specific time I heard that, something either going up the stairs and then making a lot of noise upstairs, or just specifically something making noise upstairs, because it happened so much. Like almost every day or every other day I'd be downstairs just going about my daily life, and all of a sudden you'd hear bangs and walking, and I mean, it was to the point that I was like, yes, there's something in the house. I did ask my husband, I said, do you feel like we have a presence here? And he looked at me and he said, absolutely. And I didn't say anything to him about what I've been hearing. And I said, what do you experience? Have you seen something? Have you heard something? He says, when I'm downstairs alone sometimes, I will hear something going up the stairs, heavy footsteps, like they have boots on. And he also says a lot of the time he will hear something upstairs just moving around. And I was like, wow, that's exactly what I hear. It's always good when you have somebody different confirm your story, because then you know you're not insane. So I can't tell you every time that happened, but I do have another witness to it. And my mother was over here one day right after we moved in, not too long after. She needed to do her wash. I said, come over and use my washer. And I was in the living room, I was doing my cross stitch, and she was sitting there and we were watching TV and chatting, and I was stitching, and all of a sudden I start hearing it upstairs. Now it was in the room that was directly above me, which would be the guest room or like my woman cave area, and we hear people walking around and just things moving. And she looks at me, she goes, someone's upstairs in your house. And I'm like, no. And she's like, but Emma, don't you hear that? And I'm like, Mom, don't talk about it. And she's like, don't you hear that? I'm like, yes. I said, I hear it, Justin hears it, but just don't mention it because I don't want to acknowledge it, I guess is what I'm trying to say. So she heard it too. Now the big thing that happened that caused me to completely call a stop to this was during Christmas time. I went on a baking spree. I always go on a baking spree during Christmas. Everybody loves my cookies. I used to be a baker. I know I tell you guys this like every time I talk about baking. And I was really busy making Christmas cookies. And one day, I'm in the house. I'm in the mode of Christmas cookies. And that's Christmas cookie making, by the way. And I hear upstairs whining, kind of like the dogs crying. So it's like that. I don't know if that's specifically the sound I heard, but that's the closest I can get to it. So I hear it and it gets louder and louder and louder. And I'm like, you know, I'm thinking they're upstairs in the guest room. They love that room. It's their room now. Sitting on the bed, looking out the window, seeing a dog. So I go down to the stairs, I go down the hall to the stairs, and I call up, come on guys, come down here, you know, get down here. And then I remember my dogs are outside. And I'm like, okay, you gotta be shitting me. Like, because I hear it as I'm standing at the stairs. I hear this sound. It's like a whining, mournful, crying sound, kind of like a dog would make when it's like whining at the window. You know, and you cannot hear things that are outside unless it's really, really loud from inside my house. So I go and I get the dogs in because I'm scared shitless by now. I really am. I'll admit it. And I get them inside, and I keep looking because I like to look where I'm actually talking about as I do it. But I get them inside and they run to the stairs immediately. Actually, it was Abby was with me, the little Dotson, but Scrappy and Clover, the other two bigger dogs, run to the stairs and they're staring up the stairs as we're hearing this sound. Got the chills. And I'm like, you got to be kidding me. So I'm like, okay, I have to try to have a conversation with this thing. So going on thinking that maybe this is the mother who passed away, I went to the stairs and I was firm because I was afraid, and I said, you need to leave. This is not your house anymore. This is my house. I'll take very good care of it, but you need to go because you are scaring me. So it stopped. It really did, and I haven't heard that sound ever since then. Occasionally I'll hear things upstairs, but honestly the activity has died down immensely since I've asked it to stop. Occasionally when I'm trying to sleep at night, now I used to do my meditation every night before bed, kind of like when you pray before bed, I will meditate. I don't do that anymore before bed because I'm at the point where I can actually just turn it on like that and right here will start to literally vibrate. You can feel it like tingling, like if your hand's asleep. And as soon as I get that sensation, I will know that there's something in my room by me and I'll hear it talk to me. I've had brain scans, I've had eye exams. I am not crazy. I'm not on any medications that will cause me to hallucinate. So I'm telling you guys that God's honest truth, and occasionally that will happen to me where I'll actually just be laying in bed and not thinking about this stuff and I won't be meditating, but I'll get the tingling in my third eye, that's what that is, and I will know there's a presence there and I'll hear a voice. Usually when that happens, because it's pitch dark and I don't want to deal with that at night, I'll just tell it, please get out of my bedroom. So that's pretty much what happens around here. I will keep you guys updated if we have any more incidences. I can't honestly say it was the mother. I can't say it was Native American Indians. I did have a very, very, very scary experience in my shower on, it was actually Thanksgiving Day. I don't want to talk about that. I don't ever want to talk about that ever again. So I apologize that I even brought it up, but I'm just trying to tell you that some really crazy crap happens around here. So thank you for watching, and I will be bringing you guys more paranormal videos, absolutely. If you could tell me in the comments below if you want to hear specifically my opinions and thoughts on specific topics of the paranormal, I can do that for you. I do have some things in mind. I want to talk about black-eyed kids, cryptids, like I said that a million years ago, but I never did it. So just let me know what you'd like to see from me, and I will keep bringing you videos when I can. And thank you guys for holding on, staying subscribed, and I love you all. Bye.